Welcome back for another video. Today we're going to be talking about rookies that could win Defensive Rookie of the Year. And we're going to start with the obvious one. It's going to be Will Anderson Jr., defensive end for the Texans. He's a superstar. Basically he's the kind of guy that everybody unanimously, when you look at him, he was made to be playing on Sundays. So Will Anderson Jr. being drafted at number 3 overall, whoever it was, somebody was going to take him most likely at number 3. Ended up being the Texans trading up to get him and CJ Stroud. He's going to be a cornerstone of that franchise, assuming he ends up getting a second contract further on with the franchise. Will Anderson Jr. is going to be very good probably immediately, especially with the role that he's going to play. They're going to need him to be big time if they have any hope of a future at all with him and D'Amico Ryan's defense. So moving on, something a little less obvious is going to be Cam Smith, the cornerback that the Dolphins drafted seemingly to replace Byron Jones, who ended up retiring in this past offseason. And you pair him with Xavier Howard, they have to throw at somebody, and it's most likely going to be the rookie. But I expect Cam Smith to be very good. He's very good in college, University of South Carolina. And with his body type, and of course, everybody that's building teams and everybody likes different kinds of players. I like, of course, bigger guys. And with his size, with his reach, with his length, and with his physical makeup, his jumping ability, with how quick he is, I think Cam Smith's going to be a very good NFL player. And I think he'll have a chance immediately with the number of passes he's going to see, to have a high number of passes deflected, with having a good number of interceptions, especially for a rookie. I think Cam Smith has a chance in his rookie season to make a huge impact and to show how good he can be, and to make him and Xavier Howard one of the best tandems in the NFL at cornerback. So give me Cam Smith as somebody that is most likely going to at least be in the running to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Another guy in the secondary that I think could win Defensive Rookie of the Year is going to be Brian Branch, the safety. Coming out of Alabama, got drafted by the Lions. As the Lions continue to rebuild a secondary that's been, very bad for years. And, they tried to start rebuilding that secondary when they drafted Jeff Okudah 3 years ago with the number 3 overall pick. And that just didn't work out for various reasons with Jeff Okudah. And what the Lions have done in the offseason, rebuilding that secondary, was really capped off with the draft that they had. And I think Brian Branch is going to end up being the highlight of that. Coming out of Alabama, that's kind of a factory for safeties. If you go look back at the history of guys that come out of there, there's some really good guys that play safety at Alabama and come out of there. And Brian Branch, when you turn on the tape, that's the most important thing. You can look at all the numbers and look at the 40-yard dash, vertical, and you can look at all the metrics you want. Turn on the tape and look at it. Brian Branch is going to be a very good NFL player, and I think he's going to have a chance in that Lions secondary to really be able to show his versatility and all the things that he can do. And if you look back at the history of the guys that win Defensive Rookie of the Year, it's not typically safeties, so it's going to be tough. I think he'll definitely be in the running for this. I think he'll have an immediate impact. I think he'll have a big impact on this defense and what they're able to do. I think having some of the guys that they were able to bring in, like Charles Gardner-Johnson in this offseason, to be able to kind of show him the ropes and mentor him along the way. I think Brian Branch is going to be one of the best rookies on defense in 2023. Moving on to another guy who most likely is going to be thrusted into an opportunity where he's going to have a chance to be in the running for Defensive Rookie of the Year is going to be Tyree Wilson, defensive end that the Raiders chose in the first round. Now, depending on how the Raiders decide to use their pass rushers, this could be a little more of a long shot because the Raiders have Max Crosby and Chandler Jones. But I think with Chandler Jones getting older, I think Tyree Wilson has an opportunity to come in and be thrusted into an opportunity where he's able to take over immediately. I think with Chandler Jones's age, it's probably best to have Chandler Jones as like a third down guy. Maybe if Tyree Wilson comes to his own, we see more of Chandler Jones. But I think we're going to see a lot of Max Crosby and Tyree Wilson, because Tyree Wilson, got drafted high in the first round for a reason. He's going to come in and make an immediate impact. He's going to be a very good NFL player, guy that is supposed to be playing on Sundays. The only real question is, will he do more than Will Anderson to be able to win Defensive Rookie of the Year? Or will he be able to do more than a Jalen Carter to be able to win Defensive Rookie of the Year? With Jalen Carter's versatility and the kind of opportunities that he's going to be able to see being on the Eagles' defensive line, as deep as that is, being able to play in different positions, I think Jalen Carter could very easily have been the best player coming out of this draft with his physical makeup and everything that he is physically. And then you turn on tape and see that everything that he can do as a football player, it's hard to see that at any level that he's going to be able to be stopped. You know what I mean? Like when you talk about Aaron Donald and everything that Aaron Donald can do, it's almost unfair to compare guys to him. But Jalen Carter could have that kind of impact in his NFL career. I wouldn't be surprised if Jalen Carter comes out and looks like a veteran player every single week with the things that he's able to do and the level of play that he's going to be able to be at. And especially, again, being able to get one-on-one matchups on that Eagles defensive line because of who all they have there. They're so deep that it's going to be hard to sit there and say, okay, let's go ahead and block this rookie with two guys and leave all these other guys one-on-one. So Jalen Carter could very easily end up being Defensive Rookie of the Year. Really wouldn't surprise me. A little refresh on this list. Guys that I think are probably going to be in the running and be finalists for Defensive Rookie of the Year: Will Anderson for the Texans, Cam Smith for the Dolphins, Brian Branch for the Lions, Tyree Wilson for the Raiders, Jalen Carter for the Eagles. That is in no particular order. Those are just guys I think are going to have massive impacts as rookies on their teams in 2023. I would love to know who you think is going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. You let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and keep coming back for more off-season content, and we'll see you for the next video.